Going on, guys? I have just a little bit to talk about here. First and foremost, I'm sorry for neglecting the, I know I have a lot of people that have questions or whatever, and I haven't got to them, and I forgot about them, honestly. As you can see, there's new scenery in the background here. I moved, so that's been kind of crazy. So anyways, I've got a couple things to touch base on. First of all, I'm going to be at least once a week doing kind of like guitar and or drums tips of the day, whether it be cosmetic repair, hardware adjustment, electronic selection, sonic subtleties and tonal whatever, anything you guys want to talk about, technique, whatever. I want to start getting back up with that. So first of all, your best way of sending me a question is not through comments. It's going to be through messages on YouTube. Just because there's so many comments, sometimes they all just blur together and it's really hard for me to get to all of them. So if you have a question, message me and I'll be glad to get to it. And it helps me keep better track of it, because the comments just pile up and then I have to dig through them to look for it and then I just lose it. So anyways, I'm gonna start doing that. And I'll start off with the first one today. And a lot of times I don't answer all the comments that hit on my page and my videos, but I try to make a video specifically for the ones that I feel like are pretty broad and I feel like would help a lot of people. So this question is from Bobby Frailer, and it's about first of all, does he think putting an 81 in his Viper 100 FM will improve it, and he's thinking of putting in Spurzl locking tuners. Okay, well, first of all, I think active EMGs, in my opinion, improve any guitar, almost any. Active pickups really saturate and boost the signal out of your guitar. They really give a really fat signal. So it's like, if you want something really saturated and just lots of tone, it boosts. It's like 2-3 times more than a passive pickup will give you. They're very wet, but the cool thing is, the thing that makes active so versatile is you can dial down the effect of that huge signal via your EQ on your amp, or even on your adjustment knobs on your guitar. But the cool thing about them is you can adjust them down, but what makes them so versatile is you can completely open them up and let them surpass what a passive pickup can do. My setup in my guitar is my Viper here. It's an 81-85 setup. I used to have two 81s, but I put in the 85 just because it's a better pickup for the neck pot. It's a really warm, very full sounding pickup. It gives a lot of tone, almost too much sometimes. So this one you definitely, unless you have a tube amp, you really have to dial it down. The 81 is really like a high-end distortion pickup. I mean, it sounds good for you know, some clean stuff, I guess, maybe something with a lot of effects over the top of it, but I personally, I really don't use just that 81. I'll maybe do the combo, both of them, or just the 85 for clean stuff. And kind of the same thing with distortion, I really never just play the 85. Like, if I want kind of like a flat Hughes and Kettner Breaking Benjamin kind of sound, I'll do like both pickups with, you know, like a mid-level rhythm distortion. So there's a lot you can do with those. So yeah, definitely I think in a Viper 100 an EMG 81 would do the trick. But also remember that if you have passive pickups, you either have to have all passive or all active. You can't put one passive, one active. That doesn't work. So if you get one, you might as well get another. Either that or you're just going to have an empty pot or just a useless pickup. So that's up to you. Secondly, the Spurzl locking tuners. I would recommend, if you have a Viper, and this is for anybody who has a guitar like this with no locks on it, even though this guitar has Grover tuners, which are awesome, I would rather suggest you to invest not in the tuners, because the ESP tuners are not terrible. I would suggest you to invest into an Earvana nut. It's a Earvana compensated nut, and each groove for each string is compensated and grooved differently, whether it be pushed back a little more forward or raised up or lowered. That's compensated for each string, because each string has its own characteristics that they cater to. So that helps with tuning a lot. And another thing in conjunction with that I would start using is called Big Ben's Nut Sauce, and it comes in a really tiny little vial, plastic vial, and you put that on the saddles of your bridge and on the nut. You put it in the grooves, and you know, sometimes when you're tuning you get that little clink, or when you bend you just feel that string deflate and go loose. Well, what Big Ben's does is it allows that string to glide freely over the nut and the saddle. That way when you tune it, it's the true tuning, it stays right there, and it allows that string to flex and not to be pulled, and then one of those kinks comes out. So it's just a lubrication. It's a couple bucks, and I think an Earvana nut is like $25, maybe 20. So that's going to be a lot cheaper than totally changing the tuners, because those two things right there will enhance your tuning a lot. And another tip is making sure you have good wraps on your heads of the strings, or of the tuners, I'm sorry. At least, see, on my guitar, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, I've got at least 2 wraps. Even on that 6th string, 2 wraps at the very least. That'll help with tuning a lot, because if you put light wraps, it just allows it allows a lot of give in that string. So every time you do like a 1.5 step bend, it pulls on that thing, and it allows it's just too much slack there. So make sure you give a lot of good wraps on your tuning pegs. So hope that helped out, and again, any questions you guys have, I'd love to talk with you and just focus on that stuff a little bit. So any questions you have, message me and I'll make a video for you. And hopefully I'll be able to kind of clump a lot of them into one video. So also, if I don't make a video for you for a couple days, I'm just waiting for a few other questions to pile up. So, and if I don't get back to you within a week, message me again. So I'll see you guys later.